Right now, we are taking a look at the top 10 offenses heading into the 2024 NFL season. Fired up to get into this because this is an era in the NFL of offense, right? The rules are slanted towards the offense. There is a plethora of amazing play callers, offensive minds at head coach in the NFL right now. And then you look at the quarterback play, there is 15 plus high quality quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And so there's a lot of quality offense to go out there and look at. And we're going to dive into it here with the top 10 offenses in the NFL heading into 2024. If you enjoy the content here, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton. So we're going to get kicked off here at number 10 with the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen, he is the proven commodity here. What he did in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts in that offense, what he was able to do last year when Gardner Minshew had to enter the lineup because of Anthony Richardson's shoulder injury, he made Gardner Minshew look like a Pro Bowl quarterback at times, and the Raiders went and paid him like he's close to one. I digress, but Anthony Richardson, he is the exciting question mark. We saw little bits and pieces of what Anthony Richardson could be during his rookie year, but didn't get to see a whole lot of it because of that injury. He was a more advanced quarterback coming out of Florida than given credit for. He has unbelievable arm talent, physical ability as a runner as well. He's got a really nice offensive line. Jonathan Taylor in the backfield with him. You add Adonai Mitchell to that receiving core. I think the Colts are set up to have a surprisingly very, very good and balanced offense. It will surprise some. It will not surprise me if the Indianapolis Colts finishes a top 10 offense in 2024. I also have the Houston Texans at number 9. Some AFC South flavor here at 10 and 9. I'm obviously a Jaguars guy. You can see the hat, you can see the background. But I think the Texans have it all. They have the coordinator and Bobby Slowick, the quarterback and CJ Stroud, unbelievable rookie year. He can do everything physically. He sees the game really well. He's able to avoid pressure really well, hang in there. But he's also just a great leader. He is an alpha out there. There's no question about that in my mind. You add Joe Mixon to the running game, Stephon Diggs to the passing game. You already had Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. This offensive line dealt with a ton of injuries in 2023. If they stay a little bit more healthy, this could be one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and in turn, one of the best offenses you see in 2024. At number 8, I have the Los Angeles Rams. They don't have all the elite pieces that every offense has, but with Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, they have this new power run, gap-heavy run type offense. They've invested at guard. They still have Puka Nacua. You're hoping Cooper Kupp is healthy. I love the backfield, talking about Kyron Williams. You're also able to add my guy from Michigan, Blake Corum. I think that the Rams are going to have a really, really good offense. And when they were healthy last year down the stretch, you saw that. At number 7, I have the Green Bay Packers. They could easily end up higher. Matt LaFleur has been one of the best offensive play callers in the NFL for a while now. He's a very good head coach as well for the Packers. What he did with Jordan Love to marry that skill set with what he does on the offensive side of the ball, the development Jordan Love showed throughout the 2023 campaign, especially down the stretch in the back half, all the wide receiver talent that they have, the addition of Josh Jacobs, I think is a more lateral move than anything else, but you do get younger there at running back. And then just the development of all these young players. The receivers are young. Jordan Love is extremely young. Matt LaFleur is going to have them operating at an extremely high level, in my opinion, in what feels like the second year of the Jordan Love era, right? I think that the Packers could end up much higher here. The Ravens at number 6, year 2 in this system. Mark Andrews is back healthy. Lamar Jackson, obviously. Derrick Henry joins him in the backfield. I think that's going to give defenses nightmares. The offensive line is the only little question mark. The Ravens, they typically are able to do more with less on the offensive line. You see guys come in, have their best years of their career, move on. That's kind of what you're seeing right now. I do love the addition of Roger Rosengarten, but it's going to be interesting to see how the interior of the offensive line plays, especially at guard with a couple of those guys. But I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be extremely explosive. Zay Flowers in year 2 had a really good rookie year, disappointing into the year in the playoffs, but I think he's going to be better for it moving forward. Love what this offense can be. At number 5, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. They add Keon Coleman in the draft. I think that he's going to be a great fit for them. But Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid were carrying this passing offense down the stretch last year. And then you've also got Dawson Knox. You've got a plethora of talented guys. I think Curtis Samuel is a good fit for this team. I think the offense will still be really good. You saw them able to use James Cook as an extremely versatile offensive weapon. Josh Allen and Joe Brady have so much chemistry from a quarterback and play caller standpoint. I think that they're going to continue to be one of the better offenses in football. At number 4, I have the Detroit Lions. It's all there for them. Jared Goff doesn't have the biggest arm. He's not the best athlete or most creative quarterback out there, but he gets the job done in an offense that he helped to create with Ben Johnson, who is somehow still the offensive coordinator in Detroit. Speaks to their culture, but you have talent all across this offense, right? Jared Goff is a very good quarterback in this league right now. The offensive line, extremely talented, especially at tackle. You talk about Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. You were able to go get your guy in the draft in the second round last year at tight end. Had the best rookie season the tight ends ever had, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown at receiver. Love his game. Operates majority from the slot, but can also be very effective on the outside. If Jamison Williams can become the vertical threat that they drafted him to be, and you did see flashes of it last year, if he can be a little bit more consistent in that regard, the Lions could be one of the most difficult offenses, maybe the most difficult offense to game plan for, just because of how Ben Johnson can move those chess pieces around the board. And there's so many different guys at every single level of this offense that you have to deal with. At number 3, I have the Miami Dolphins. They're going to be number 1 in September. Where are they going to rank down the stretch? That's the question. So when you're doing these rankings, are you ranking them for the postseason? Are you ranking them for the regular season? I'm putting the Dolphins here based on how I expect them to perform in the regular season, really. And for the most part, that's going to be earlier on because they're a team that has faltered down the stretch. They're a team that, against some of the best teams in the NFL, has struggled. But Tua Tagovailoa in this quick strike Mike McDaniel offense with all the speed they have out there, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the running backs, they're going to win a track meet against anyone, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do. So I think the Dolphins will still have an extremely explosive, fast, high-scoring offense that puts up a ton of points and yards, right? San Francisco 49ers at number 2, rinse repeat for them. They add Ricky Pearsall to the mix in the draft. It looks like Brandon Ayuk might be sticking around. Don't know exactly how that situation will play out, but if they have Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall and George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy can do pretty much no wrong with those guys. Obviously, the offensive line has always been the question for the 49ers the last couple years. I did love the addition of Dominic Pooney in the draft. I thought one of the more underrated offensive linemen who really does have potential 5-position flexibility. So I think he's a guy, played both guard and tackle at Kansas, played some center, took some center reps at the Senior Bowl. So I do think that you have the potential. Do you want to start him at center? Would he maybe be best served playing right tackle for you? Wherever he gives you the best advantage, the most improvement, I think is where you should put him. Because there are a couple spots that I think Dominic Pooney could potentially take during his rookie year for the San Francisco 49ers. But Kyle Shanahan in this offense, they're going to be among the best in the league. Christian McCaffrey, the most versatile weapon in the NFL. Bottom line. That leaves the Kansas City Chiefs at number 1, which might surprise some folks. I mean, I think power ranking the Chiefs number 1 wouldn't surprise anyone. But the reason I have the Chiefs this high, I think what you have seen over the last couple years with the Chiefs being this more methodical offense that can grind you down, they can run the ball. Patrick Mahomes can take what you give him, and then when he needs to, he can kind of land the kill shots. Travis Kelce is still there. He is still playing at an extremely high level. I think the addition of Xavier Worthy and Marquise Hollywood Brown, who are 2 of the fastest receivers on the planet, but also have legitimate skill. They're not just these speedsters out of the Big 12 that don't know how to play football. Marquise Brown is a very good, proven NFL receiver with unbelievable speed. Xavier Worthy dominated during his time at Texas from the jump as a freshman. So I think these 2 are really going to help open up this offense. And so I think you're going to see some combination of the early years of Patrick Mahomes Chiefs with Tyreek Hill throwing the ball all over the yard, and the last couple years where you haven't had that vertical element as much. It's been Marquez Valdes-Scantling, which has not been pretty. But I think you talk about an amalgamation, a combination of the original Patrick Mahomes Chiefs and what we've seen the last couple years, and that's going to make them one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, I think that they are going to reassume their position as one of the best offenses in the league, if not the very best, with the speed that they have added to the offense in 2024. Let me know who you think the top offenses in the NFL are for the 2024 NFL season. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. You all have a good one.